lovers, welcome to Apocalypse Movies. I am Jacob Bartley, and this is my review of the Kevin Smith film, Yoga Hosers. Now, before I get into my review, I must reveal that I'm actually a Kevin Smith fan, so that plays into my enjoyment of this movie. I kind of know what type of movie I'm getting into going into this. I've liked Kevin Smith for a long time. Clerks 2 is like one of my favorite comedies ever. I used to watch that over and over again with my high school buddies. And I actually listened to Kevin Smith's podcast, so I heard a lot about this movie before it came out. So I'm going in with kind of a biased attitude towards this film, but I'm also going to be fair and talk about it unbiasedly as well. So just a little background. But yeah, so Yoga Hosers, if you haven't heard of it, you probably have not. It's a very small, independent film. You could definitely call it an independent film. And it's about two female clerks in Canada who are in high school, and they it's kind of funny to explain, but they're kind of just dealing with high school life and their parents, and they have to fight off these miniature sausage Nazis. Yes, I said sausage Nazis. And yeah, so that's the plot of the film. It sounds ridiculous, but let me just talk about some of my positives about this movie. Now, like I said, I'm a fan of Kevin Smith, so I knew what type of themes he was going for and stuff like that. So he touches on like social media and how it runs people's lives, and how young girls and young boys are like just infatuated with their phones and how they can't step away from their phones. There's even a scene in the movie where the two girls fall asleep and they have their phones in their hands, and like, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but like if you take away their phone from them, they freak out, just like any kids during this day. So the way he touched on social commentary with social media and how people are just live within their phones was really cool for me, and I love that he was able to capture that with all the ludicrous things going on. Another thing is he's addressed this on his podcast as well, is like a lot of people have came out and said that this movie was a hate letter to the critics, and he's actually came out and said he intended for it to be an apology towards the critics. So if you watch the movie and you watch the third act, you'll know what I'm talking about, where he addresses the critics. And hearing him talk about it, he's trying to, because in the past he's came out and like cursed out the critics and said he doesn't care what they think and blah 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 blah, and the end of the film kind of addresses that in a way, and hearing him say that he meant it as an apology is kind of, I kind of understand it and get it. But if you don't know Kevin Smith's style and you don't listen to his podcast, you're not going to understand this movie, so I completely understand. Now, aside from the things that I enjoyed, and actually another huge positive for me was the girls and their chemistry together. They were both really good, especially Lily Rose Depp. I told my buddies, Lily Rose Depp, she's Johnny Depp's daughter. She's going to be a freaking superstar. If she keeps working on her acting and continues to work and get some bigger, high-profile roles, I think she's going to be a superstar. So those were some of my positives. So moving on to my negatives now. Even though I enjoyed this movie, it is not a good movie. I'm sorry, I love Kevin Smith, but I cannot lie about my opinion. It's not a good film. The first hour is kind of, it's really kind of boring in a way. But unless you're like enjoying those little moments and the social commentary and the interaction between the girls, it's kind of like, it really feels like a TV movie. And just the outrageousness, like I love weird shit, like I do, but little sausage Nazis, that's crazy. And then the special effects were really bad, but what do you expect? This movie cost like $4 million to make, so I kind of forgive like the special effects and all that stuff, but I just wish there would have been a more compelling story behind the outrageousness. Like, I appreciate weird stuff and kooky movies when there's some type of serious or realistic story being portrayed. So I just wish there would have been a better story. And then I totally can forgive all the weird stuff and all the bad special effects. But overall, if you're a Kevin Smith fan and you like weird stuff, you'll like this movie. If you're not both of those things, you're going to hate this movie. So this is one of those films where it's going to be divisive based on your style and your preference. So overall, Yoga Hosers, I liked it, but I completely understand for people who don't like it. So yeah, that's going to do it for my review. And overall, as a score, I'm going to give Yoga Hosers a 6 out of 10 because I enjoyed it enough to give it a 6, but I can't give it higher than that because it's not really a good movie. Well, that's going to do it for my review of Yoga Hosers. Thank you all for listening. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of Yoga Hosers, or if you're interested in seeing it. I'm Jacob Bartley. You can find me on Twitter at JacobBartley_, and on Instagram at JacobRyanBartley, and on this YouTube channel. Subscribe, hit that like button. We really appreciate it. Until next time, take care.